Art was a very good friend. I know he was a good husband, a good father, and a good grandfather. Art was just a great and wonderful person. I met Art in fall of 1964. He was the kind of person that when you met him, you immediately liked him, and we became good friends. We shared an apartment together in 65 and part of 66. And in those days, I didn't know what a mentor was. But as I look back on it now, that's what Art was to me. He was less than 4 years older than me, but he was always seemed so knowing and wise. He was also not always an idea guy. One day we were out in the parking lot of the apartment complex and we were changing oil on our cars. And we were about done and he looked at me and he says, "Hey, Ronnie," he says, "you know, we should buy a garage just to change oil and filters." And I looked at him and I said, "Nah." I said, "Nobody would come to do that." You should have run that idea past somebody smarter than me. In December of 1966, I married his niece Gail, and my friend Art became my Uncle Art. So for the past 45 years, I've called him Uncle Art. But in my heart, he's like a brother to me. I spoke with his long and probably very best friend, Mike McKinney, a couple of times over the past few days. And Mike asked me to say a couple of words on his behalf. Mike met Art in 1961 at the El Toro Marine Base in California. Out of the 4 years that they were in the Marines, they spent 3 years of it together and they became very good friends. After the service, Mike went to work for Western Airlines. And Art was leaving Boeing and looking for work. Mike gave him the lead on a couple of openings, and Art interviewed for them. Mike said that after the interview, he went right down to Western Union and sent a telegram to the guy that interviewed him. He wanted to make sure that he had his name and phone number in front of him at all times. Must have worked, because he spent the rest of his career. He was hired and spent the rest of his career at Western Delta, same as Mike did. Mike stopped by to see Art just a few days before he passed away. It had been 50 years since they had met and become friends. And he said they celebrated with some candles and a loaf of zucchini bread. Art, from Mike, myself, our families, we love you. We'll miss you. God bless you. Rest in peace.